Hey everyone's JackelWolf back in Stoneblock 2 with another 5 minutes. That's how I did it. If you've been following along, you know that we are working our way through all of the quests in Stoneblock 2. The quest that I want to get through today is the mining dimension. Now, to get up to the mining dimension, we've got to mine our way up, all the way up to the top of the overworld, and then we'll get transported over into that mining dimension. But to do that, we are going to need to make ourselves a better method of going through this stone. So we have got a stone pickaxe, which, as you can see, is already broken, and there is not a whole lot of, durability to this pickaxe. It breaks very, very quickly, but this was a very simple one that we built right off the bat with our Tinker Station. What I want to do before we go up to the mining dimension is I want to go and complete a second quest, and that's going to be the Master Tinkerer Make a Tool Forge. Now, to make a tool forge, there are a number of different recipes that you can use, though they are all very, very similar. So just randomly, they all follow a very similar pattern. And that's going to be 3 blocks of seared something on top with a tool station in the middle, and then 4 blocks of the metal, or in this case, it's, the night slime or what, but it's going to be 4 different blocks. So because we're so early on, we are going to just pick the 4 block of iron version. So to make this block of iron tool forge, it is 3 seared bricks, 1 tool station, and 4 blocks of iron. So very similar to how we use the tool station. We're going to place this tool forge down here, and as you can see, we can open it up and we can select some different tools. We have access to all of the items that we could make from the tool table, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus on some of these higher level items. So what I want to make today is the hammer. Now, to make the hammer, I'm going to need a tough tool rod, a hammerhead, and 2 of these plates. Now, I could make these out of stone or wood or anything that I could craft from the part builder, but what we're going to do is we're going to craft our parts a slightly different way, and that is going to be using the smeltery. So I'm going to take this tough tool rod, I'm going to place it in the casting table, and then we're just going to pour some molten gold on top of it, and that's going to make ourselves a mold, very similar to how we made the ingot mold. So that is one. We're going to take the stone hammerhead, we're going to pour a little bit of gold on it and make a mold out of that. And then last but not least, we're going to use the large plate, and we're going to right click on that, and we're going to make a mold for that. So very, very quickly, we have got all 3 of our parts. Now, I'm going to want to make this tool out of a number of different materials. One thing I'm going to try to make it out of is some bronze. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our smeltery, and bronze is made by combining copper ore with tin ore in the ratio of 3 copper to 1 tin. So we're going to throw that up there, and as soon as it is all melted, it is going to combine together and create bronze. So now this is a little bit of a slow process, so I may start cutting in and out here at any moment, but let's see how far we can get. Okay, so it is almost done, and there we go, and you can see it is combining these 2 together, making some molten bronze. Now, as soon as it is complete, we are going to go over and let's go actually flip that to the bottom. So we've got 1 block and 7 ingots worth of molten bronze. Now, these higher level tool parts definitely take up more material than some of the lower level ones, but let's right click on that. And so we said it was 7 ingots and 1 block. And as soon as it's done filling up, let's go and check and see how much we got left over. And we're down to 8 ingots. So that has taken us pretty much, a block? And it took us about 8 ingots worth. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a second plate out of this bronze, and that should be really, really good. The other item I'm going to use here is some osmium. Let's go and throw that into the smeltery, and we'll let that melt down. And here we go. So we're going to have our second plate. And there we go. Now, while this osmium is burning down, let's actually throw a little bit of iron in here as well. And then we'll make our last 2 items out of osmium and out of iron. So let's go throw the rod down. Okay guys, so it is, there we go. There is our molten iron and there is our molten osmium. So let's flip that down to the bottom, and I am hoping that it is only going to take the 5 that, or the 4 that we've got in here. And there we go. So that has gotten us the tough tool rod made out of osmium. And I'm kind of curious, do we have any osmium left? Let's actually flip that. Put the head down. We're going to come over here, and yeah, so we got 1 ingot of osmium left. So let's go switch that to the iron, and then we're going to pour this in here to make the last part for this tool. Now, if we ran out like we just did here, you can see it's just floating. It is not 100% complete. So what we're going to do is we're going to go run and grab 1 more piece of iron, and so we can finish this off. So I've now gone and put a little bit more iron into the smeltery, and we're just going to click on that. It's going to finish up, and now it's just going to cool down. Once it's cool, we'll go and we'll build our tool. And actually, I think that's probably going to be it for this one. This is actually running into be a longer episode than I thought. I thought I'd have time to do both of these quests. And actually, while we are waiting, let's open that up. Master Tinker, random reward is a powered diamond anvil. That actually sounds really, really cool. But let's grab this last piece. And before we forget, let's go and throw this back down. So we're going to come back over here. We're going to go to the tool forge. We're going to select on the hammer, and then we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to get us an iron bronze hammer. It's dense, it's well established, and it's magnetic as well, which is actually really, really cool, because that means it's going to attract items in this world. But since we're not going to go up to the mining dimension this episode, let's just go and do a little bit of a test demo on this. And I'm kind of starting a little bit of a bigger room here, but if we go and we go up against the wall, you see we've got now selecting a 3x3 grid, and I could select off to the side and only grab 2, or I can select all 3 here, but it grabs everything all at once. Now that is going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JackelWolf. Also, check out the description below. There's a link to my Discord page. Please feel free to drop by and say hi. Also, I've been streaming a Stoneblock 2 on Saturdays at about 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. If you got a chance, feel free to drop by on Twitch and say hi. But that's going to be it. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.